lead singer named Justin Moore.
We don't do a whole lot of bullshitting up here. We just get up here and play country music.
The Justin Moore Podcast is sponsored by Bobcat. Visit them at bobcat.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Justin Moore Podcast. This being Season 4, Episode 24 of the Justin Moore Podcast. I'm your old buddy, old pal, JR the Handler. And across from the Zoom machine for me today is none other than country music's own Justin Moore. What's up, JM?
What's up, guys? And JR. It feels like forever since we've done this, and that was not – we say this every time, but that was not really by design. But we went on vacation, was it 3 weeks ago, I think? It was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And so we did a podcast before we left. We uploaded it, sent it all to Cody. So that was supposed to come out the week that we were on vacation, and Cody made maybe his only mistake in the last 7 years or whatever. We usually are the ones doing it. He didn't know we did it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was our fault for not communicating it. I don't know, but you guys were supposed to get that. We were all excited about going on vacation. I don't believe you got that until, was it last week?
Last week. Yeah, I think we put it out Monday of last week.
So it came out maybe a week later than what we had hoped. But we're back. We made it safely. We'll get into how our trip was. Done a little bit of touring since then. Talk a little bit of sports. It's not going well in football for either of us.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm retired.
I'm accustomed to this. JR's not. And then we're going to do some Q&A. So good to be back with you guys, and thanks for hanging in there. And just know that we try to do this thing weekly, as we've discussed before, but life happens. JR's been super busy with some projects around the house. Obviously with kids, I'm always busy, and projects around the house, which we'll talk about mine, and we can get into yours if you want to or don't have to, but we try to do it each and every week. So check in each and every week, but just know we try to keep you updated on socials, like, hey, we'll be back this week or this date or whatever. But we drop the ball sometimes too, as a team, as a whole, but we're not going anywhere. We're still doing this, okay? And we're about to be off for a few months, and it'll be much, much easier for us to stay on a better pattern, I guess, if you will. But anyway, good to have you guys in. And what do you know? We're recording this on a day that we're getting ready to hit the road, and just mentioned that we were going to be off for a few months. We're getting ready to leave this evening to go play our last 2 full band shows of the year. Then we have 1 acoustic show. But other than that, we're done pretty much to March, to be quite honest with you. We got a couple of shows, I think, in February, but that's it as of right now. So it comes at a good time around the holidays. Obviously, Thanksgiving's – it's hard to believe Thanksgiving's in like 2 weeks.
This flies by, man. It's crazy.
But Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, and then Christmas, obviously, right after. And so, yeah, busy time. But we were just talking off the air about this time of year. We love going and playing shows, and especially coming back after COVID. You know, we appreciate it even more than we did, and we thought we did before. But man, when you get to this point in the year and you can literally see the finish line, normally you're limping towards it, like at the end of a marathon.
For sure.
So looking forward to these last couple shows, but also looking forward to them being over for a few months to recharge our batteries. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I am excited about the ones we got coming up. I guess we'll try to drop this in the morning. We're going to be in Shipshewana, Indiana. That's going to be fun. Never been to this place. Looked it up. Know some friends have played there. So it's a cool little spot. They don't serve alcohol there. It's a dry county.
Really?
So I always wonder these places.
What's going on, Indiana?
Yeah.
Crap.
They just don't there. That's what he said. That's a county thing
Man.
or city.
I'm gonna tell you right now. We sound better when you drink.
That's what I say. I used to think it was the other way. I used to think it was the other way. I thought like I'm not singing, but like I thought I did a better job because I was drinking. Then I realized I do a better job when everybody else is drinking. Yeah,
yes,
when I'm a little better than they are, it's better. I used to feel the opposite way, learning that. But it'll be fun nonetheless. I'm excited to go there. It's a cool little spot in a cool town. I want to get to walk around a little bit tomorrow, I hope. And then we're going back to. We talk about all the states we like playing at, but I always have a great time in West Virginia. So we're going to Charleston, West Virginia Saturday, and they always have good crowds. It's just good old home folks, and I just love that part of the country. And our buddy Aaron is going to come visit us. He was going to the Marshall game, which is close. And they're going to try to come to the show afterwards. So I talked to him earlier, and a couple other friends and family going to be at some of these last few shows. And then I guess it's public because I've had a bunch of people hitting me up wanting to meet up, which we'll see some of our NASCAR buddies here because we're going to be in their part of the world. But next Wednesday on the 16th, we're going to be in Charlotte. It's something for the radio station, but it's at Coyote Joe. So if you're in the area and want to go, look into it. I'm sure there's a way to go to it because it's not a secret show or anything like that. But it's going to be an acoustic show. And those are fun because we only do maybe a dozen of those a year total at tops. At different events.
I'm sure people obviously in that area are familiar with Coyote Joe's. It's a great club. It's one of my top 5 in the country. When we used to play clubs, and we haven't in quite some time, but when we did, that was probably a twice a year place.
Yeah.
And we've done not only full band shows, but we've done a number of acoustic shows, such as the one we're doing, and it's a great spot. Is my point. If you live near the area, take advantage because they get a lot of great acts in there. The staff's great.
Yeah,
it's a good spot, so it should be a fun time. And I forget who all's on the show. I know Chris Young, I believe, is on it. Lee, maybe.
I can't remember either now that you say that. I know
it's me and Chris for sure because I remember seeing an email or something. But it'll be fun. That's next Wednesday, and
I think Coyote. And talking about Coyote Joe's, I think Coyote Joe's was the first or second show I ever did when I worked for you full time.
I think it was the first.
It was the first or second because we did 2 shows over in that area.
How long ago it was? They were starting. It was the first time they had ever done an outdoor show, kind of behind the club.
Yep.
And Stapleton opened for us.
Yep.
If you remember.
Yeah,
and,
Chris Stapleton. Yep.
Yeah.
It was in 13.
So it was in.
And they were on one bus, an old Eagle. It was a trip.
He had really just kind of started as an artist. He had been a prolific songwriter to that point. But
he had What Are You Listening To out, and he had one, and they didn't give it enough love, and I think he was on his second single maybe. And I remember you and I went and watched him. We did 2 or 3 shows in a row. We went and watched him each night, and we were like, man, this guy is just so soulful
phenomenal.
And so good. But that's how long ago it was.
They still don't give his singles that much love, really.
I think he's one of the ones, like, his stuff was so good that, like,
it didn't matter.
Yeah, and it's like people got accustomed to it just being so good. They're like, well, it's good, and it's like, well, no, it can't take away from them because it's still like good just because they're all good. You know what I mean? It's like you almost get used to it and you take it for granted kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
Or like, I know for me, I've heard some of those songs on other demos and tapes and stuff and different versions and stuff, and I'm like, man, you like some better than the others, or you've heard, you think, that's just now coming out.
We heard it in town, a decade ago or longer.
On that weekend,
probably maybe 2 decades. A long time ago.
Yeah, or mid-2000s for sure. I know I saw him playing around town with steel drivers and stuff.
Well, mid-2000s is damn near 2 decades ago. Which is crazy.
True. That's true.
But, we're about to hit 2023.
And even some of those songs that night, like I know for a fact, "You Should Probably Leave," that may be a single or his new record. He played that weekend, and I remember thinking that's a badass song. And then there was one clip of it on the YouTube until recently.
I remember the first time I heard him live. My wife and I had gone to the ASCAP Awards, which is a songwriter award for those out there listening or watching that may not be familiar with that term or name. And I'm a BMI writer, but I had gone because one of the songs I had written with my manager, with my producer, who is an ASCAP writer, was winning an award or something for it, so we went, and they had Chris there playing, and he and his wife played like they do, and me and Kate turned around and were like, holy God. Like, I knew Chris. I had met Chris, and I knew he was super talented, but that was the first time I heard it live, and you're just going, whoa.
Yeah, and them together
and
had something special.
And then it was probably 3-4 years after that, that we played that show or something.
Right,
so,
right.
But anyway, yeah. But so that's a cool spot is the point.
Yep.
That's where we started. So that's it, though, for the year. We'll be done.
Hopefully I don't fall off the stage this time.
Yeah, JR almost impaled himself the first night he worked with me.
Yeah.
At that particular show, he fell off the back of the stage, from what I remember.
Yeah, we were there all day, and it was we were there all day, and it was bright. So I mean, it was sunshine, so you could see. Well, night fell, and it was a temporary stage they had put out there, and there wasn't much light backstage. So when you were coming off, I was kind of moving backwards to get off the stage, and just took a step, and there was nothing. It felt like I fell for 10 minutes, just whoa, boom, yeah. And I hit the ground. I look over, and like 3 feet from me is a spike in the ground where they had staked down cable to hold the stage down. And Joey comes around the corner and is like, you okay? I'm like, yeah. One thing he said, though, he told me later, he said, you didn't spill your drink, though. You still had your drink in your hand. I was like, well, glad I could do something. But anyway, yeah, that was that. And a long time ago. It'll be 10 years next year. Yep.
So look forward to those 3 shows and seeing hopefully some of you guys out there. And so again, we leave tonight for the 2 others: Indiana, West Virginia, then Charlotte next week, North Carolina.
And over in being over in the Carolina makes me think about we've got to mention a few. I might as well do it now instead of always leaving on a bad note when we do these. A couple of farewells, and on that old dusty music trail, some RIPs out there for some fallen brothers. One, I've got the shirt on today. It's the killer, Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis. We lost him last week or so. I mean, just go back and listen to Killer Country, Jerry Lee Lewis's stuff. Everybody knows Great Balls of Fire, but go listen to that stuff he did, that country album he did, and that's something special, man. It's unreal, that the songs and the talent he had.
He was really good, man. I mean, that's an understatement. I mean, he was incredible. But and it was like a week after he had been inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame by Hank Jr. Mm-hmm. There was a cool image that I don't know if you sent it or who sent it to us. It might have been Nate. That Chris Stapleton, who helped. I think he accepted on Jerry Lee's behalf, I believe, his induction, that is. And there was a picture of Chris Christopherson showing him his award in the hospital. So it doesn't make up for losing your life, but the fact that he knew before he passed, I think is kind of neat.
Got that acceptance. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then here more recent, just a few days ago, we lost a fellow Alabamian, Jeff Cook, from the great
I wasn't really
band
prepared for
Alabama.
that when you sent that to me. I was like, I mean, I knew he wasn't in the greatest of health, but
yeah.
And I don't know what happened or why.
He had been battling Parkinson's for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then he still done some shows, but it was tough because it was only when he was well enough. And
I knew the last few times that I had seen him in person, he didn't look good. I mean, but I don't know. I didn't know it was Parkinson's.
Yeah.
But sad deal, and what a legacy both of those two. Leave behind.
And Cook, man, I mean, for all he did, he was from North Alabama, had a place on Lake Gunnersville and in Fort Payne. But he was, he was a big. I remember I guess it was in the 80s. He was like our state's, like you do with the Fish and Game Commission. He was our state's fishing ambassador. He was the spokesman for all of Alabama state fisheries. He's a big bass fisherman.
That's cool.
And I remember the commercials and stuff. It was like him for that, and Jackie Bushman for deer hunting. And but yeah, Jeff Cook, unbelievable. He was in a lot of Hall of Fames. He was in the Fiddlers Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame. I believe they got in the Songwriting Hall of Fame, and they were in all those. And he would for both of them, because Jerry Lee didn't come to that award things. He was home with his family. Same with Jeff. He was in Destin. He had a place in Destin also.
Oh wow!
And that's where he passed, and his family was all there with him. So at least he got to be where he enjoyed being and was with his family. But it's never easy. So I want to say prayers to all those families out there.
Yeah, and all those guys in that band were critical to their success. Oh yeah, obviously, but nobody more than him. I mean, because they were a 4-piece. Yeah, so. The only other guitar player was Randy, and Randy is a pretty good guitar player for a front guy, but Jeff had to do, I'm sure, 90, if not more, % of the solos.
Oh yeah, and he played the
plus
fiddle.
He played fiddle.
Yeah,
I mean, it was.
He would play the double guitar. He would do all the stuff.
He was really more of a utility guy, and kind of he filled a lot of space up.
Right.
And when I say 4-piece, I mean there was only 4 members in the band total. So, for example, I have a 6-piece band, so it's much easier to fill space. Each guy doesn't have to play as much. That's kind of maybe some inside info for you guys that maybe aren't musicians or don't really understand it. But, yeah, the more obviously the more people you have up on stage, the easier it is for each individual. Like we almost didn't have one of our guitar players the other day, and we have 2 lead guitar players, which would have required me to play much more than I normally do, and it affects the show. My point is, what they did as a 4-piece band was unbelievably impressive, especially
no doubt. At
the time they did it. I don't know how. That seems to me it would have been unique to get this to get the, I don't want to say aggressive, to get the as big a sound as they got out of that.
Right.
Was pretty neat at the time in particular.
Yeah, no doubt. And they got their start under the name Wild Country was their band name at the time, and they were played over in Myrtle Beach at the Bowery. They had a residency there. They'd play weeks at a time, every night.
Wow.
2 shows a night at
the
Bowery.
I wonder if they'll play without him. I know they don't play a ton anyway, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll do some stuff, and they'll have some guest guys. I'm sure Jamie and some of the people will fill in some spots and do some this and that. They'll do some kind of stuff, I hope. Because I hadn't got to see them in a while. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I get that in there. But on some sad notes, but on some better notes, well, some better and some not. One good one for sure. I want to say congratulations to some podcast guests who've won awards and different things like that lately. First, I got to say congratulations to Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
How about that?
The new governor of Arkansas here soon. That's awesome. She was just on the podcast a few weeks ago. Had a lot of good feedback. We'll get into that when we do some questions and comments here in a minute. But, yeah, I want to say congrats on that. Pretty much what we all thought here in Alabama. Kay Ivey's going to be our governor again. Katie Britt won. First female to hold that role. And I did see one bummer, though.
And Sarah, by the way, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's our first female governor.
Yeah.
Ever. And it's the first father-daughter.
Got to be that, yeah.
Governorship, or I don't know how you say that, tandem, duo to ever do that.
Right.
Because her father was governor. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. No, and I think that's Katie's was something like that too. Maybe she's the only woman to have children. I remember something like that, but she's a couple of those too. But yeah, that's awesome. Great strides for there. Saul, you guys did not pass the recreational cannabis bill, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I was not surprised by that, to be honest with you. I kind of expected it to be less close, though. I want to say it was like, I think it was inside of like 60-40 as far as the margin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at least it at one point close to all the votes being counted. It was.
Right.
So I was intrigued by that.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own opinions of that, but man, in the Bible Belt, it's tough.
It's
but
tough.
Missouri did pass it.
Yeah, Missouri and Maryland
which-
both did.
Which Missouri's a little.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're really considered the South. I don't really consider
They were kind of
them
the wild.
South.
They're kind of the wild. They're the start of the Wild West kind of. They're
Right.
they're kind of in the middle of all of it.
But yeah, I do think, and I said this on the radio this morning. I do think what it says is that we're moving closer to that. Maybe another time or two of it being on the ballot. I could
Right.
see it.
Well, you got to think it's only
passing.
been 10 years since Colorado passed it the way they did.
Yeah.
So, and now it's 20 states or whatever. So I mean, it's
21. I think if two passed, Missouri and Maryland,
Yeah.
that's 21. So you're getting close to majority being for it, and
Yeah.
whether you partake or you don't, or you believe in it or you don't. I mean, that's up to you, obviously. But I just don't like telling people what to do, especially if you can go buy a beer at 21 years old and we can regulate it.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I'm thinking, my thing
it's
is
not like we voted for, and I'm not trying to get on a soapbox, and we don't really talk politics. I know we just talked about having Sarah on, but that was more of a lifestyle kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like telling people what to do. If you want to go do it, do it. Whatever. You know what?
Yeah. Well, and I say, and I agree with that.
In terms of what you put in your body,
Right. And we've talked about this before on the bus and stuff. The difference in some of that and in a lot of drugs and cannabis is like they could find ways that this could be medically helpful to people. There's people that could get benefit out of this. I mean, there's a little bit with alcohol. Obviously, alcohol is good to clean things, and painkiller and different stuff for alcohol has been used for that over the years. But to have it scheduled up there with coke and crack and ecstasy and stuff, and you're not a party guy like that. I'm semi-retired party guy, but I definitely partied my ass off in my life. Ain't no doubt about that. Anybody that knows me knows that. But I can say this: of all my time partying, I've seen everybody doing everything there ever was, and the cannabis ain't ever the problem. I promise you. That's the least of all the craziness I've seen. That might attribute to about 1% of the total.
The only thing that was intriguing again to me too is either the majority or all of the money that was coming in. It was proposed that all the money coming in outside of obviously taxes and
right
or outside of owners and the people who ran the places and all that
right
was going to go to law enforcement. So our law enforcement was supporting it, and I'm all about, hey, any way we can get more money going toward our law enforcement, I'm in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Schools, law enforcement, the roads. I mean, good Lord, we need some roads fixed around here.
But also, like I said, I mean, in the Bible Belt, man, it's. I mean, you live in it.
Oh yeah, we don't even have lottery here in Alabama. I mean, everybody drives every week to go to.
And we've had medical marijuana for. Again, I'm no expert on this because it's not my thing. But
y'all have had it for a few years.
6 or 7 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, it's been a while.
Yep.
Which so anyway,
yeah.
I'm not really giving an opinion either way, but
yeah.
I just don't care what I don't really care what you do.
Well, and like you said, the thing about the taxes, like everybody's going to go to wherever that stuff is. So it's like, man, whoever in the South does it first is going to make a fortune for their roads and
cigarettes
schools.
Are bad for you. Dipping, which I'm doing right now, is bad for you.
I can tell you the majority of the problems
bad for you.
And alcohol,
there's so many things out there.
And alcohol's the jump, but I can tell you the worst one I've seen of all my party days was that came from a doctor. The worst problems I've seen people have above all of it was prescription stuff. Get 100%.
Opiates.
Just
Or
pills in
opioids
general,
and-
whether it's Xanax or Lortabs or Oxycontin or Ambien or Adderall or what. I've seen more people have problems with that stuff than coke, crack, whatever together. Where I live and where I've partied I hate in alcohol for sure. Hell, you can ask any cop. What's 99% of the problems you go deal with? Alcohol, the people drunk, fighting,
probably.
drunk,
Yeah.
raising hell, being just, all these videos on TikTok with people doing stupid shit at the airport or here or there. It's always they're drunk. They're always drunk. And they want to run their mouth, it's like so. But anyway, but I hope we'll get it next time. But so I just want to say congrats to Sarah mainly is where I was going with that, and just throw that little thing in there about the push for recreational. But also want to say thanks. I didn't see any of the show last night. I know some people would text me. No, we were not at the award show last night. And no,
And
I
don't know. I don't know any of the winners, and I'm so proud of that. I don't. No, I'm sure I know some of them personally. I'm proud of the fact that I don't know who won because I don't pay any attention whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, I had and that's people were texting me, and I actually was at a opening for anyway, a thing down here, a new restaurant bar that's going to be open down here on the coast, which I'm super excited about. I put a picture.
Yeah,
up
you'll
on
have
my
to
Instagram.
tell us a little bit about that. I mean, we don't have a ton of time today. JR's got to go because we've got to go to work. But anyway, go ahead.
But but I did want to say I saw Coyote Joe had won some awards, and I saw Laney Wilson, both podcast guests, won awards. Stapleton, Luke Combs, Entertainer of the Year. Hadn't had him on yet, but I've talked to his people about
Hadn't
it.
had
But
Coyote Joe on either. We keep trying.
no, we hadn't had Coyote Joe. I feel like we have. Yeah.
Damn
but
bomb.
yeah, he's been busy lately. They've been rocking.
Yeah, they have. I'm
But
joking.
anyway, those are all our buddies. So we just want to say congrats to all of them.
Yeah,
And
that's
I know
awesome.
it means a lot to
Congrats.
their teams and everything else. So congrats to that.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm saying a lot of that in jest. I'm kidding.
Right.
But
That's like when we say how old we are. I mean, I know we talk like we're 1,000 years old, but we're really not that old. That's what people say. It's like, you guys talk like y'all are 100. I'm like, well, some days I feel like it.
Well, the thing is, in our business, we're considered not old, but middle age.
Middle age.
You know what I mean?
Middle age
So
crazy.
that's the thing. I mean, when you're like on the radio today, for example, there was a girl on the radio with us that worked for Game and Fish, and we were doing a Game and Fish segment, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan. I thought you were going to be here today." We were doing a remote. I wasn't. I was doing the show from my house right here, actually. And she's like, "I've been a big fan for forever. The first concert I ever went to was yours. I was 8. I go, "Oh, great." That's so. No, we're not old, but you have to understand, in our business, we kind of are, really. I mean, not old, but certainly
middle.
not young.
Yeah, middle. There's a
everybody
whole new-
coming.
Yeah.
The majority of the people coming out, coming out as far as their career goes, are early 20s, and I'm close to 40, and you're just over 40. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we started 20 years ago, so I mean, yeah, we're in the middle of the road there on that. But yeah, I feel like that too. Yeah, it's like I got a lot of my buddies are younger, working for younger acts, and then I got the old guard, my older buddies that are still running a bunch of
middle
bigger
age
camps. Yeah, we're here. Here we go.
Hopefully not. Well, I guess we're middle age. Period. When the life expectancy.
I am for sure.
Today,
I'm 100% sure middle age.
What is life expectancy these days? I don't know. It's got to be.
For
70s,
people for
80s?
guys like us,
I don't
probably
know.
like 82. I think it's went down a little since COVID, so 80s, low 80s.
So
Women are a little older. Women live a little longer than us, I think.
Double my age now. I'll be 78. I mean, because I'm about to be 39.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
we are.
Yeah. Double
weird,
mine. I'm 80.
but-
Double mine. I'm 86. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, well, just
you're
want to say
not 8
congrats
years older than me.
I'm 43. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that'd be 86 for
4.
double. 4, yeah.
Yeah.
But had some questions and comments we've gotten over the last couple of weeks since we got gone, and and that's where we had left. We were going to Mexico, and we had a blast in Mexico.
You'll have to get into that, even if briefly.
For sure.
To plug that event.
Yeah, I was looking through my pictures to find some stuff, and then I found some pictures. Y'all know the only thing I bought while I was in Mexico was some kick-ass wrestling
I thought you would come
masks.
on air today with that.
I was going to do it last week. I had it ready
yeah.
last week, and I forgot today because I'm a little under the weather. But y'all know I bought me some sweet wrestling masks while I was in Mexico. To get that, Justin told my wife at one point, he goes, you're 43, your husband's over there trying to spend way too much money.
No, okay.
No, what was it?
So this is what happened. So I guess we might as well get into the trip since we're talking about it, unless you got somewhere else.
No.
Go. So one of the days we do an excursion. We go to. It was really, really cool. So we were in. Golly, what was that town that we went to?
We went to Tulum.
Tulum, yeah. So we went to the Mayan ruins in Tulum, which I think JR's the same way, but I'm kind of a history, not buff, but I kind of nerd, I guess if you will. I enjoy learning about that kind of stuff and different cultures and how things ended up today. And they are today this particular way because of hundreds or thousands or whatever years ago. And we had a great tour guide who took us around, and it was just really neat. So, but we're in this area.
She was great. She
really was. At one point, she was talking about speaking. She spoke really good English to not be from America, obviously, but
she spoke Mayan and
so she said,
Spanish.
Yeah, so I said, so you're bilingual, and she commences to saying that she speaks 7 or 8 languages.
She
or something.
speaks
I'm
like 6 or 7 languages.
Okay.
She goes, I know English and Mayan and this
she
ancient
rattled
Mayan.
off like.
And then she's like, French, this, that.
Italian,
this, that. She was so smart.
Oh, wow, okay.
Super smart.
Yeah, anyway, she was really sweet and really good. But anyway, so we're coming out of this place, and anybody who's been to some of these type countries or spots to vacation, there's all these little shops set up, and you can kind of haggle with them, and
it's like gift shops, like little tourist gift shops.
3,000 pesos, which will be whatever, and you go, nah, I'm only giving you whatever, and it's kind of fun, and so we're walking in, and they have all these masks, and this is a long way around to get to what you said about me saying to Charisse, but JR's like, we walk in, first thing we see is this whole big display of wrestling masks, and JR's like, I gotta get me some of those. We're all just kind of like, ha 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 ha. You're like, that'd be funny, whatever. JR's way into wrestling, as we've talked about on here, and we've had a few of them on here, but so we're getting ready to leave and go zip line. So our driver, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go get the van or whatever, and it's just bothering JR so bad that he's gonna leave and not get these masks, as you see right now. So who is this?
This is Nacho Libre. This was Jack Black Nacho Libre.
Oh, that's Nacho Libre.
Yeah,
okay.
I had to get the obligatory Nacho Libre, but I got Rey Mysterio. I got Psychosis. I wanted Pentagon Jr., but I didn't have one. But the main one I wanted was they had some like football, like American style, like football teams on. They had Saints. They had a Saints one, and I didn't get it. And I want to kick myself in the butt every morning when I wake up for not buying that Saints mask.
Yeah,
I would have worn it to the game. I would totally wear it to the game.
So I don't think you had cash on you or didn't have enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have
whatever.
Enough cash.
You're like, I'm gonna go back and get those masks. And you look at me, you go, you got any cash? I go, I got a couple of like $100 or something. You're like, can I borrow $100? I go, yeah. Here. And so he goes over and tells his wife, he's like, I got to go get some of those masks. I can't
Because
leave
y'all are
here
ready to
without-"
leave, and I'm like, I got to
Yeah,
go back.
he's
I
like,
can't leave.
I can't leave here without them. And so I tell Sharice, I go, you realize your 43-year-old husband, he cannot leave this place without
Because he
going
doesn't have
and
enough
getting-
wrestling masks.
Yeah, going and getting these, full facial masks. And anyway, bought one for South and
Yeah.
I don't know, a
I
handful
got
for
one
yourself.
Yeah, I got plenty. I got masks. And I
was
just wish
pretty
I'd bought. I'm
funny.
still mad. I wish I'd have bought more. It was a steal.
Yeah.
I should have bought as many. It's
It was a
priceless.
steal.
I mean, you can't get these anywhere. You can't order these on Amazon. These are the real deal.
Golly, it was
So anyway,
funny, but yeah, we
yeah.
had a good. We went so from there we went to Zipline, and I mean,
It was
we went to
amazing.
the middle of a jungle.
Yeah,
I
it was in
mean,
the middle of a jungle.
literally the middle of a jungle.
Yep.
And it was. I had felt great. This was maybe our 4th or 5th day there, and I had felt really good the whole time. We all had. But I guess Montezuma's revenge hit me that particular day. And where we were, I mean, first of all, it's hot, obviously. But secondly, we climbed so many stairs that day to Zipline, like each station.
And they were
you go
above the
to.
canopy of the jungle. It was like
I mean,
100 feet
just
up each one.
Huge. And I'm like, I didn't really say much, but I'm telling myself, I don't feel good. I really don't feel good. We started it off before we zipline, rappelling
Yeah.
off this, I don't know how many 100 feet it was, but it was freaky.
Yeah.
Was it not?
Yeah, the first thing you do is just walk out there. Yeah, it was a little.
Yeah, you go out over the edge backwards, and you're
Sharice and Amy didn't do it. They walked back down.
You're trusting. You have to put your life in the hands of this guy that you met 7 minutes ago who speaks broken English. He said, "Oh, I promise you'll be fine." And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. What did you do last night? I don't know you. I don't, whatever. But
I'm
anyway,
sure these things work.
Most of us did it, and it's really gratifying once we did, obviously. But so my stomach was bothering me, and then that freaked me out, and because I don't like heights, and I enjoy zip lining, so we did that. We get off the last zip line. I'm just so exhausted. I just walk down and throw up in the middle of this, I don't know, little seating area or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just, I don't know. But Montezuma's revenge is real because I think we all got it, but maybe one of us.
Maybe.
Amy's the only one I think that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because we all brought it home with us. But
yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
we were all pretty cavalier about drinking the water. We didn't take much precautions, really.
We
just did whatever.
pretty much. I mean, but what are you going to do? Not drink water? I mean,
and they have all these crazy. We stayed at an all-inclusive. They have all these crazy different foods, so you're just eating all kinds of different stuff and
probably different spices than you're accustomed to.
Yeah, eating and drinking. I mean, just all day.
But yeah, the place we stayed. I don't know if you remember the name of it.
We stayed at Secrets.
Secrets. Okay,
it was nice.
So and there's a number of those. I mean, that's a chain kind of deal, but it was great. I thought the staff where we stayed was great. I thought the place itself was super nice.
Yep. It was an adults only thing, so there weren't kids. So it was really
there
chill.
was really nothing I could even come up with to complain about. I mean, I thought the food for the most part was really good. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun is the point. And then we played the show, I think the night before we left.
Yeah, we went over to the Hard Rock and did the show at the Hard Rock. They had the country concert down there. It was by Music Getaways. The laminate there for that.
And what do they call that?
Country Concert Cancun.
Yeah. So
and they're going to do that. They do that every year, and they're going to do more of them. It's definitely a cool event to look into. That was a rocking show.
Kind of the point of that whole thing was it was really, really cool. I mean, we were over there for a day, and I mean, if you have the extra cash and can get away for that event at any point, which they're going to do at a number of different locations, to me it would be really neat. It'd be worth going. I mean, I would encourage anybody to try to do so. I mean, you get a vacation and you get a get a few shows out of the deal. And
Right, because if you
I
could
thought
save up,
I thought it was really neat, and I thought the people running it did a great job. And,
absolutely.
you know, I was impressed. So
yeah, Warren, who the president of the company puts it all on. He's a, I mean, yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, and I would say that too. It's like if you can get up enough dough to go to one of those all inclusives, it's worth it anyway. I think it's totally worth it compared to what you pay somewhere else. If you have to pay for stuff, and then to get a concert for free, and if you stay there during the thing, you get concert every night. Like the nights before us was like rock concerts, and then we were the first night. It was you and Tyler Farr, and I know the Low Cash Boys got there because they were playing the next day, and Trace Atkins had just got there because he was playing the next day. So, it's cool to do those things because you get a lot bang for your buck. But Mexico was pretty.
I'm thinking if I'm going to go to, if I decide, hey, I'm going to go this year to a couple of concerts or whatever. Do I want to go to wherever,
or
Arkansas,
if you live somewhere, go to your
Alabama
same venue
or Ohio or whatever.
Yeah, go to your same venue.
Or hey, I could go to the beach, and
Especially
I don't know. I thought it was really cool,
especially
if
if you
it's
live
an artist that or you live somewhere super cold, Michigan.
Yeah, you live somewhere the weather's not very nice. It'd be a good little break.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
so,
I hope we get to do that again because that was was a lot of fun. But Mexico was a trip, and then we got back from Mexico and went to played a casino in Oklahoma, which was fun. And then we had Halloween, and then we went and did an acoustic thing in Dallas this past week, and then here we are recording podcast. I've got another one here. This is from Evie Barber. She writes, "Hello, I'm writing because I need a very big favor for my 10-year-old son, Cole. He has been taking guitar lessons for 2 years and needs some encouragement. Since he idolizes Justin, I thought maybe Justin might be able to email us or reach out some way to say some encouraging words. Cole knows every Justin song, sings them all constantly around the house, driving his older brother crazy. My husband has challenged Cole to learn Kinda Don't Care, and he started working on that but decided he needed to step back a little and work up to that. Any advice Justin have would be welcome. We are not big social media people. I wasn't sure the best way to reach out. Faithful podcast, Morning Mayhem listener, Justin Moore fan, and last but not least, mom to a budding guitar player, Evie Barber. Her son Cole is playing the guitar."
Thank you, Evie, for sending that in, and thanks, Cole. I like that name. That's my middle name, and I always told my parents growing up that because there were a ton of, and JR knows this because this is his name also. If you were born you born in 79 or 80?
79.
Okay, well, I was going to say if you're born in the 80s, but around the same window of time that we were both born.
Oh, yeah.
I was
late 70s, early
84.
80s. Yeah.
Justin was a very popular name. So
Absolutely.
I always told my parents, Cole, that why didn't y'all name me Cole? I really would rather be Cole than Justin. That's unique and cool, or at least I thought it was. But anyway, I digress. But and my oldest daughter's middle name is also Cole. But as far as advice goes, I think she said he was 10.
Just encouragement, just some encouragement to keep it up and a little,
10? 10? Is
10,
that right?
Yep, 10.
Well, Cole, I wish I had started when I was 10. I took guitar lessons for about a month when I was like 8. And my hands were so small that it was at that age that it was really difficult to play. I mean, it was hard, and there was a lot of practice involved. And but man, had I stuck with it at that age, I'd be a much better guitar player today. And so it's hard, but anything that's hard, or anything you do in life is going to be hard. I mean, whether it be school, or there are going to be moments that it's hard, I should say. Whether it be school, whether it be sports, when you get older, whether it be a career, there are going to be moments where you're going to go, man, this ain't worth it anymore, but I promise you it is. Once you fight through that feeling of it being so difficult, it's just easier to let it go or not do it or whatever. You'll be very proud of yourself if you fight through that moment and go, when you look back, you'll go, I'm proud that I didn't give up. And I'll go back to, I used this yesterday coaching my third grade basketball team. A little girl told me, I can't do this. And I think this applies in this situation. To steal a line from our good friend Diamond Dallas Page, if you say you can do something or you say you can't do something, you're right. Either way. So I'd rather think I can do it. And clearly you're doing a really good job if you know all these songs. I can't play Kinda Don't Care. I've never really tried. So if you're even working on that, you're doing better than I am.
What would be a good easy chorded song?
So stick with it.
Country song or one of yours, or just a country song you like that's easy to strum that you would be easy for Cole, you think?
Cole, honestly, the majority of country songs are very simple to play. So it's a good thing you like country music. And before I answer that question, the other good thing, playing guitar, even if you don't choose to do that for a living or whatever, it's a great tool to be able to have. I mean, at parties down the road, pull out a guitar, or Christmas with your family, or church.
Write
whatever.
Your sweet mother a song and sing your song for your mother on her birthday.
It's going to be impressive to chicks too. I'm just telling you.
That too.
But it's neat to be able to sit down and do that. Plus, what you're doing right now by teaching or getting lessons or teaching yourself or your parents are teaching you, it's teaching you discipline and hard work and sticking with stuff and not giving up. When the going gets tough get going. It's all those cliche things, but they really are true. But as far as songs, country music's really, really easy. Small Town USA for today's episode is sponsored by Bobcat. If you're like me, you don't like to sit still for very long. You look out the window and see possibilities. What if I planted a row of trees over there? It'd be nice to clear that trail in those woods. That's why Bobcat equipment is so great. Its compact size, powerful performance, and big-time versatility will keep up with all your ideas for your property. With a few attachments or implements and a Bobcat tractor, for example, you can do big things in small amounts of time. It's perfect for me when I have a break from touring or recording. Take a look at tractors, utility vehicles, mowers, and more at bobcat.com, or pay a visit to your local dealer. Hey, what's up, guys? Justin Moore here. I want to remind everyone out there listening that my wife Kate has an awesome children's clothing boutique in downtown Benton, Arkansas at Central Arkansas. So if you're local, come see us at 119 West South Street in downtown historic Benton, Arkansas. Again, that's 119 West South Street in Benton, Arkansas. And if you're not local, we ship everywhere. So you can find us at shopthislittlepiggy.com and see all that we have to offer. All that my wife Kate has to offer, I should say. Facebook, you can find us at Shop This Little Piggy AR, and Instagram, you can find us at Shop This Little Piggy AR. But check us out. It's called This Little Piggy, and see what we got to offer. ShopThisLittlePiggy.com.
Hi, y'all. This is Brandon Bing, singer-songwriter and whiskey maker. You're tuning into the Justin Moore Podcast. Visit EasyLiquor.com to grab your bottle of Bangtail Whiskey and join the Blue Collar Swaller family today. Follow us on all socials at Bangtail Whiskey for more news and updates. Now pour Jigger and take this a second ride with us.
Hey, gang. As y'all have heard, the Justin Moore Podcast has recently teamed up with Wrangler. Wrangler has been an icon in authentic American style around the world for more than 70 years. With a rich legacy rooted in the American West, Wrangler commits to offering unmatched quality and timeless design. As y'all have heard me and Justin talk about on here, George Strait and Alan Jackson, they're Wranglers. We wear Wranglers too. Its collections are also for men and women, children, to look and feel great, inspiring those who wear them to be strong and ready for life every day. Wrangler is available in retail stores worldwide, including brand flagship stores in Denver and Dallas, department stores, mass market retailers, specialty shops, Western outfitters, and online. For more information, visit Wrangler.com. And you know you've heard it here, and you've seen it on stage, the Justin Moore podcast. Dang glad to be partnered up with Wrangler because we're big fans and have been for a long, long time. Can't go wrong with a nice pair of Wranglers, y'all. I wear the Wrangler Retro. Justin wears the black one some. It's my go-to. I get mine at Academy. So if you're around an Academy or just about anywhere, you can get you a pair of Wranglers, whether you want to look like George Strait, or you want to look like JM, or you want to look like me. You can get you some Wranglers, and you can do that. Whether you're in North California or South Alabama or Montana, Texas, Ohio, Wyoming, wherever, a pair of Wranglers will get the job done. Long live cowboys and plowboys. For more information, visit Wrangler.com.
Is 4 chords, and you only use a 4th chord one time, I believe, in the chorus. So that's a very easy one to do. Let's see. Sweet Home Alabama's 3 chords. Pretty much the majority of country songs are either 3 or 4 chords. You very seldom see more than that, and they're mostly major, easy chords.
Right.
G, D, C. If you learn D, G, and C, you can play about 90% of country songs.
There you go.
I mean, you really can. E minor's another one to have on hand, but yeah, I stick with it, man. I wish I would have when I was younger than you.
Yeah,
I didn't.
There we go, Cole. Let's work on Small Town USA. And Evie, shoot me a message. I know you sent that to the jrthehandler.com chat page there. So keep us updated on that, and hope he gets this. And you can cut it up and play it for him. Next one I got here is from longtime listener Dora Woody. Dora writes in. She's going to be at the Charleston, West Virginia show. And she said her husband was the DJ for WQBE radio station for years. He passed, unfortunately, but she said every morning he would play Till My Last Day on the radio for her while he was at work so she could hear it. It was on his list of songs the morning he was on the air. It was our song, so it was hoping it will be on the set list of songs when we're in Charleston. So we got to make sure we try to play Till My Last Day in Charleston this weekend. But she said it's her and her husband's birthday month. And she loves the podcast. And she always comments. She's so sweet. She always, thumbs up and like stuff. So, for Dora Woody, we got to play Till My Last Day this weekend. So Dora, I'm trying. Yeah. I'm going to tell Roger when I see him tomorrow at the show, I'm going to tell him, go ahead and make sure we got it worked up. Yeah.
And, happy birthday, early or late. I hope it's not late. But and sorry to hear his passing, and that's really neat to hear that he did that for you every day. That's cool.
No doubt. Next one we got here is from old Brett Bierbauer. Cool name. He's shot some messages over the years. He what up, JR? Tell JM I'm digging his new collaboration song with Priscilla Block, You, Me, and Whiskey. I hope it goes high up on the charts #1. I'm rooting for him. I like the collaboration song about as much as he did with the one with Miranda Lambert. Is one of his earlier album years ago. # Justin Moore podcast.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it, man. We're excited about it. It's doing really well for us so far. It's called You, Me, and Whiskey, and we're actually going to shoot a video for it. I believe it's December 12th. So you guys should see that early in the new year. I don't know if CMT plays videos anymore or they don't, but it'll be out there somewhere.
But
yeah, we're going. It's the first video we've shot in 3 or 4 singles now. Early through the first, 7, 8, 10 years of my career, there was no question you were shooting a video. I mean, for every song. Nowadays, it's, you never know, but it'll be the first one we've shot in a number of years. So I'm excited to get back in and do that with her, and excited about this early success of the song, and hopefully it'll be a big record for us.
Yep, and we're going to do shows. Priscilla's going to come out and do shows with us early next year, February and March. So, in April, I think some different shows. So y'all make sure to look in for that. You can go to
And we've
Justin
already
Moore.
talked to her about coming on this the podcast also, and
Yes,
we had it lined up to do a couple of weeks ago, and I think I might have screwed that up, but we're going to get her on, and we'll give you guys a little more backstory on her and how this came to be, and kind of let you in on her personality, because she's got a really fun, kind of spunky. I don't know how.
Yeah.
She's a firecracker.
Oh, yeah.
I guess is the way I'd put it. But she's
yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, and go to justinmooremusic.com and you can look at all the dates as we're adding them and putting new shows up for next year when they come on sale. You can get all the pre-sales and all that fun stuff and get you some good seats where you want them and all that. I had one here that was on our review page for the podcast, which I highly encourage all you guys that listen to go give us 5 stars and write a little short review. We may do something, probably won't do it throughout the end of this year, but we may do it sometime during the holidays, do another fan selection thing for some kind of prize of sorts, either to come on the cast or come to a show or something fun like that. So remember to be leaving comments and reviews if you can, please. But this one I thought was funny. It starts off, tell JR, and he did give us 5 stars, so I appreciate it. He obviously likes the podcast, but he said, I have lived in Mobile, Alabama for the past 6 months. Please tell JR that it's very crime infested and the roads will ruin your car. Very bad advice to live here.
What is?
Mobile. He lives in Mobile.
Oh.
He said, please tell JR that it is very crime infested and the roads will ruin your car. Very bad advice to live here. I am moving to Huntsville in a month. South Alabama is not great at all. I get it. Yeah, Mobile's rough. Yeah, the roads are rough. But that's Mobile County. I live in Baldwin County. You should just come over about 45 minutes more east and south, and it's a little different. But I love Mobile. Had some great times there over the years. But it, like a lot of cities in general, and especially a lot of southern cities, they're just rough, man. It's run down. I don't know. It's just they're not making nothing, so there's no businesses. They shut stuff down. They open casinos, this and that. I don't know. It's that go through Montgomery or Jackson, Mississippi, or anywhere. Huntsville's a good spot right now, but it's it hadn't always been, and they go in cycles. But Huntsville's one of the top places to move to in the country right now. It's it got plenty of jobs with the NASA or all that stuff there, and it's close to Nashville, and it's a lot cheaper than Nashville. It's still north of Birmingham. So, but sorry you had a bad time in Mobile, buddy. I wasn't trying to steer you wrong. Should have specified. And Mobile's, there's nice places there too. You can go down Dolphin Island. It's beautiful. But yeah, the roads are rough. Roads are rough all over the country. So like we were talking about the cannabis thing earlier. However we get some money in and get all these roads fixed everywhere would be great. But come down to South Baldwin County sometime, and you'll see what I was talking about. See if I don't have a name for that. Oh, Jason Michael C. That's all I got for a name on that, bud. So sorry, but thanks for the review, and always. Here's one. Steve Proctor writes in he says, sorry, JR, I was running behind on listening to the podcast. I know it's too late to get it in before my wife's birthday, but I forgot to give you her name. So if JM could tell her happy birthday, that would be great. Let me know where to send the $100 bill. LOL. Thanks, and keep up the podcast. Y'all have turned me into, he meant on to, but into many new artists that have been on. Her birthday was November 4th. Her name was Angie. So that's Angie Proctor. Needs a happy birthday, Jay.
Angie, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Steve, we're running behind with you, buddy.
One.
Yeah. Let's see here.
My second daughter's got a birthday coming up in 11 days.
Yeah, not even that. Yeah. Ken.
11 days.
It was great to see them the other day. I told them, y'all got to quit growing up.
Oh, man.
Slow down.
It's just crazy.
Like the 20th time. This is from Jeff Reeves. He's just saying, even the missus last night said, man, if they release one tomorrow, it could be your birthday present. Currently listening to episode number 2 with Brantley Gilbert for like the 20th time. Love the show. That's Jeff Reeves. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. Oh, this is from Zach Briscoe, writes, New album could be called Arkansas Home.
Not bad.
Yep. And he said he was going to be at the show. Is this weekend? He said we're at the show in November. Thanks for writing in, Zach. Let's see here. This is from Towns Research Group on Twitter. Writes JR and JM, let's go make the day count, or go make the day count is what I say to my students at the end of every class. Live with intentionality and purpose. Thanks for including that in the podcast, JR. Hashtag Justin Moore Podcast.
That's cool.
And Richard writes, no podcast this week. What's up with that? Sorry, Richard. We're back, buddy. We're going to get them in there. There's a picture of Tucker. I know everybody had fun us ragging Tucker a little bit. They got brought back down to reality after playing Georgia, which did not see LSU putting it on us, but we didn't show up ready to play, and they dang sure did. So definitely I know everybody in the world's excited Alabama's got 2 losses, so y'all go ahead and enjoy. I had a couple of people make little eye marks, and I want to make comments at me. You know me, Just. I ain't want to be messed with about it. I'll bury them with knowledge or just general shit talking ability. I'll bury anybody. I can talk if I can't do much else. But flying on the airplane and stuff, someone say, "Oh, Bama," and I'm like, "Yeah. What about it? I got my. What do you want to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to compare?
Yeah. Well, the dynasty's over. Well,
yeah.
Well, it's like, well, the dynasty's over. Well, we've had like 6 of them. So if so, I'm sure we'll get another one. But either way, it's just like we lost 2 games. We've lost 10 games in 10 years. Especially if you're some crap team. I heard 2 Michigan guys behind me earlier. That was like purgatory flying home, having to listen to them the whole way home. But I'm thinking, I don't want to hear nothing from you guys. Y'all ain't, if y'all had a 2-loss season every year, you'd sign up for that right now. So it was funny, and people want to give me stuff. So, but I enjoy LSU guys. Y'all, I know y'all are still sending the things, because I want to tell y'all need to worry about your next opponent instead of still talking about last week. But y'all don't know. Y'all figure it out maybe one day, probably not.
Yeah, they'll be in Fayetteville in a couple of days.
This is for Preferred Pest 1960. I had a thing up. He put a comment I thought was really cool. I put some albums up, and he put Saul Whalen back in the 80s here in my hometown of Greenwood, South Carolina at the Civic Center. Great show. No more than 3,000 people there. They even had the Judds, Alabama, Johnny Paycheck, and Jimmy Buffett did an acoustic show before that MTV ever started Unplugged. He sat on the stool and told stories. $16, if I recall. Looking forward to the next JM show near here, and I'll make sure to look for you, JR, now that I know what you look like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being at that show?
No doubt.
That's awesome.
That was a rando there. Oh, man. Shane Mason. We'll get you an answer on that next time, Shane. That's going to be a long one. I can already feel it.
JR, I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Oh, I love it. Got your readers on?
I'm tired. No, I'm tired of squinting. I'm sitting here and you look blurry. Like, I got to do it. Like, I've turned JR on to readers, by the way. I think we might have talked about that last week.
I wear them. I've got them in my bag. They're right on top of my blue auto polarized sunglasses, ready to be used. This is from Jason Feith, I think I pronounce his name, Feith, on Instagram. Put orange don't even look good on a dang pumpkin. Love you and JM. So that was response to our Tucker bashing. This is something that I just saw while I was flipping through here. Want to say shout out to one of our new sponsors. Is going to help us with some stuff on the tour, and probably going to come on this podcast and be one of our sponsors as well. Want to give a shout out to our new friends over at Arkansas-based national chain now, Slim Chickens.
How about that?
We've gotten a little. They sent us some here a few times on the road lately, and I got to be honest, I've always had my favorite chicken tenders here and there, but I like me some Slim Chickens. Sharice and I always ate it over there near Chenal and over there when we do the golf tournament. We would always go over there and eat at that one, but I didn't realize they had them everywhere. Now that I've noticed now they do.
Yeah, they're good, man.
Yep,
they're really, really good.
So,
and I'm not just saying that. I mean, it's hard to mess up a chicken tender, obviously, but some are better than others. And what I like about Slim Chickens is you can get a bunch of different sauces, and
Yeah.
the bowls are awesome.
Yep.
We had some of those recently on the road. I mean,
and you could just get wings too. You don't have to just get chicken. They got wings too. I mean, it's not just chicken fingers.
And different types of wings, and like I said, different sauces and the whole thing. So yeah, they do a little more than normal. You know, a lot of the chicken strip places or
Zaxby's, that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They just do a handful of things, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Slim Chickens does a whole bunch of different stuff. They also have really good. My wife always gets a side of mac and cheese. Imagine that with Kate, but it's really good.
Good mac and cheese too. Yeah.
And I will say they have okra, like fried okra.
They do. Yeah,
is I'm pretty sure rare for, which right up my alley. But
and they do got salads for the lot. I mean, big old. I mean, I ordered one the other night, a big sweet salad. But yeah, once they shout out.
I mean, this sounds like an endorsement. We're not getting paid to say this. I promise. It really is good stuff. And if you got your choice of, this place that has chicken strips and fries, or you can go over here and get chicken strips and fries and whatever sauce you want, and fried okra and mac and cheese and I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, hopefully it works out, and we'll get them to sponsor the podcast as well. Love some Slim Chickens. This is from Pete Taller. First, he says there's weirdos posting ads or scams or whatever in the comments on your YouTube episodes. And I went back and looked. Yeah, every time somebody puts something, somebody else comments on there, and it's fake Justin Moore page. And hey, you've won a free chat with Justin or something. Y'all, I sent a few of y'all some things I just did to point up scam. All that stuff's a scam, man. Don't ever talk to anybody. I promise you, Jay, we do not have any site. Justin doesn't even do social media. He doesn't even have it. So
I don't have it.
He can't talk to you if he wanted to. So, and
I should go through my phone on the camera one day and be like, no,
yep.
All through the pages and go see. I have none.
So y'all be leery on that. Don't talk to anybody on there. Don't give anybody money. No info, personal info, nothing. Please, y'all watch out. I see other artists all the time. These damn scammers. Hell, they got them trying to be me. So please, for God, y'all don't talk to these people. Number two, when y'all are busting on Tucker or anyone for that matter, you need to call them on the spot and have all three on the episode. We talked about that. After it was over, we thought, man, we should have just got Tucker on here. Number three, have a great Thanksgiving. Always love the podcast and seeing JM play. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. It's kind of like Christmas. It's deer season, football season, but you ain't got to fool with all the presents. And the food, it's me and Ken. So I mentioned Ken earlier. Her birthday's in like 11 days. She's my mini-me. She's the one child that Kate and I have that looks just like me. God love her. She's pretty somehow, even in spite of that. But, I mean, she's tempered just like me. We eat exactly the same. I mean, we're like twins, really. It's weird. I mean, it's cool, but it's odd how you can have one child that I'm talking every single thing is just alike. I hope she doesn't get my really poor qualities because I have a number of them. But it's like, for example, yesterday, my dad made fried chicken the other night for me and Kate and the kids, and my mom cooked, and anyway, like good soul food kind of stuff. My mom's cooked for me twice this week, and Dad actually. So
nice.
Bring it on. But we had fried chicken last night. They made us a roast and mashed potatoes and gravy and beans and corn and okra and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, when the kids got home from school yesterday, I was eating a piece of the fried chicken, and I like fried chicken cold. That may be gross to some people. I don't know, but I can eat fried fish or fried chicken cold. Hell, I can eat fried okra cold for that matter.
For sure.
But so like the kids came home and Ken's like, "Oh, I love fried chicken cold. And the other girls are going, gross, gross. So I'm putting theirs in the air fryer. And Ken goes, this reminds me of Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday. I was like, so is it it's mine too. Because I fry a couple of turkeys. And then, we have, just like everybody else has, like some crazy spread. And you have tons of leftovers. So for us, it's sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole. I make a big pot of white beans. My parents make cornbread dressing, and it ain't stuffing. It's dressing. It ain't stuffing. I'm sorry. Stuffing's dry. Dressing's still got a little moisture in it. And I know your grandma did the gravy and all that too, the like giblet gravy and all that. We don't do that because I fry the turkeys. So you pull all that stuff. I guess I could make gravy out of it though. I've never tried, but anyway, one of the reasons I love Thanksgiving so much, obviously the family aspect, and you get to hang out. We played cornhole and we just hang out in the backyard and all that stuff. But we, in particular, Ken and I eat the leftovers for like a week or something, So that's one of my favorite things ever, and it's a lot of fun, man. I really enjoy it. So and Ken's in the same boat, obviously.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love Thanksgiving. I think Christmas beats Thanksgiving out for me for a little bit. I don't know why. I just love Christmas. I actually watched whatever day I got home this week. It's been a whirlwind, but I watched A Christmas Story. Ralphie, you shoot your eye out. I put it on
the new one.
No, the original one from.
There's a new one, right?
No,
and it's not a remake. It's like a sequel.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I just saw that this week. It's so funny you brought that up because Kate and I were watching something on Netflix, I believe Netflix, 2 or 3 days ago, and A Christmas Story. So the kid, you're going to shoot your eye out.
Yeah, Ralphie.
Ralphie. So he's going back home and trying to recreate the whole thing with his family. So it's almost like a Christmas Vacation kind of deal. It seems, I don't know, but we've made the kids watch A Christmas Story and all these old movies, and some of them they love, and some of them are like, whatever.
It's a Wonderful Life's probably top 5 movies of mine of all time.
Oh, great!
That's just a great movie. Jimmy Stewart. I mean, it's just a good movie, and if it wasn't Christmas, it's still just a great movie.
Yeah, but I like the Christmas movies really well.
Me too.
I'll even admit this. I'll sit and watch a bunch of Hallmark Christmas movies. I know the plot to all of them. I don't know. I just like getting in the spirit. But
same here.
Thanksgiving, I love all the food. And I do the whole thing when I carve my turkeys. I slice the breasts, but I pull all the dark meat off, and I take the big the legs off, and I leave them whole.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people pull all that meat.
Right.
And usually we have, because I do 2 turkeys, we usually have a couple left, and me and Ken the next day
eat those
like
legs.
When you go to the fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what. So
good stuff.
Yeah. So
that's funny. Ken. Yeah, I'm definitely. I look forward to food. I don't know what we're going to do. I think ours is going to be really low key this year. I don't even know if we're going to do much. Let's see. I'm sure we'll get in all that when we do Thanksgiving episode coming up here in a few weeks. I got one here. This was on the comments on one of our recent podcast episodes on YouTube, because a lot of people did say what they have been. I'll go through that next time. I'll just go through each episode and read off some of those. I know a lot of people said they do watch and listen. Let's see. This is Kyle Evans. You mentioned lyric music videos. Those are usually good, especially the treatment John Party's team used on Heartache Medication album. But maybe I'm old school because I still like the music video treatment featuring artist and band. JM, do you prefer a live style fly by the seats in your pants type video treatment or a scripted video with over-the-top production. P.S. Absolute barn burner show at the Amp in New Haven, Kentucky, and JR and his Red Solo Cup alone was a total side stage act. Hope y'all come back to the Bluegrass State soon. That was Kyle Evans. Basically saying, do you like the fly-by-the-seat type of video treatment, like I guess live-ish, or do you like the scripted with a bunch of production?
I mean, I like them both.
Kind of depends on the song, huh?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it really does depend on the song. And thank you for the kind words about that show, and hopefully we'll get to come back soon. But yeah, I think it kind of depends on the song. I think each song kind of lends itself to, you know, one or the other, and we've done a number of each.
Yeah.
As a fan, I always kind of liked the live stuff because maybe I wasn't getting to go see these artists in concert because they weren't coming to my area, or
right.
So you kind of get a glimpse of, you know, that space in their career, but I also like, you know, some of the really cool videos, whether they be funny or whether they be, you know, telling the story exactly as the song lyrics go. Or I don't know if I have a favorite, to be honest. I kind of like both.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like live stuff, but then I think, like, just thinking of yours off the top of my head, when you mentioned funny, I thought the Beta Hook video, and I'm thinking that's still got to be one of the best of all time. That was a good one. But I'm like you, kind of both depends, because sometimes, man, they can do so much cool stuff if you've got the, you know, ability to do. But then sometimes, just a rocking live something's cool too. So thanks for that, Kyle. And we actually are going to be back in Kentucky the second week of February. I don't know if we've announced these officially yet, but second weekend of February, we're going to be in Kentucky for sure. Next one is from Hillary Sartain. I get my readers at the Dollar Tree, $1.25. I'm like Kate. I've had glasses since 5th grade, and I'm almost 50 now, and I see better with contacts, but need readers, so I'm screwed either way.
Dollar General right here.
Or South calls it Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General.
Oh, this is another one from Kyle. He said, new album title found: Boots, Boats, and Trucks, taking lyrics from Get Rich or Drunk Trying.
Yeah.
I should mention this title. This title idea also lends itself to endorsements for Boots, Boats, and Truck Tour presented by Money $ brand boots, Money $ boats, you know, blah blah blah. No, that's a pretty good idea.
We should have him doing marketing for us.
I know. I like where your head's at, Kyle. You're all over the place. Good ideas. Yeah, there was Jeffrey Allen Cook, born August 27th, 1949. He passed November 7th, 22. Had a fiddle in his hand. I'll picture my buddy Fran Gavin sent me, got him a Handler shirt. I'm still get some of those. And like I said, Justin, we've got new merch stuff on the merch line, so y'all need to go check that out as well. I think that's all I had on that. I had one more over here, Just we need to give a shout out to. This was Jasmine Lucas, and you might remember this couple. Sorry, I just now seeing this. This was from about a month ago. Good morning. My name is Jasmine from Benton, Arkansas. I'm taking my husband as a 40th birthday surprise to see Justin in Las Vegas next Thursday. Figured it might be worth a shot if we could catch up with you guys that day. Have a blessed day. So that's Jasmine Lucas. She didn't say her husband's name, but it was his birthday, and they were the couple, one of the couples from Arkansas we saw when we were in Vegas.
Cool. Well, thank y'all for going.
Hope that Red Rock
had a good time.
Yeah, that Red Rocks place, we talked about that. That's another cool spot to go catch a show too, because it was chill.
Oh yeah, very.
It wasn't
cool.
all crazy Vegas-y. It was just it was pretty cool out there. That's about all I got on that for today. Crazy enough. I mean, there's some more I could go dig up, but that's all I got for that today. Did we talk about? Trying to think what we've talked about. I know I usually do NBA. I'll get on that.
I think we've done enough. You got to go, and I'm about to starve. I ain't stopped since 6 this morning. So.
I got you. One more congrats to the Houston Astros, World Series champs. And,
no, I didn't know. They cheaters? No, I'm not congratulating them.
Did they cheat again?
Kidding? No, but they cheated once. That's enough for me.
That's enough. All right.
Screw
So
I love
there
you,
you go.
Houston, but screw
There
him.
you go.
I am happy for Dusty Baker. It's his first. He's been a really good manager for a long time, and he won his first series as a manager. I think he's 73, maybe. So I'm happy for him, but
Yeah.
I'm not. Boo. Boo.
I'm happy somebody in the South won, and I'm a homer.
Texas ain't the South.
I don't care how we won it. It's more Southern Philadelphia. We'll talk about sports next week on the show, but thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, I did see another one I saw this morning, Just. I don't know if you saw it, but Rotiers on West End's gone. They just demolished that whole building. So no more food on the way out to the Parthenon anymore. So Nashville slowly but surely gone. So, but thanks for everybody for tuning in this week. I'm JR the Handler. That's Justin Moore. Go to justinmooremusic.com. You can go to jrthehandler.com. Check out all Justin's tour dates. Leave a rate, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff everywhere you listen or watch the podcast. We will be showing this on YouTube as well. And remember to tune back in next week, and we'll have a new one for you guys. Not sure what day it'll drop, but we'll be back soon. Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you.
This episode was brought to you by Bobcat. Check them out at bobcat.com.
For any of you first-time listeners out there, at the end of each of our episodes, I like to do a little reading out of a book I've had that I've got a lot of use out of over the years. The book is by Mr. Charlie Daniels, and the book is called Let's All Make the Day Count, The Everyday Wisdom of Charlie Daniels. Division and defeat. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Mark 3:25. All too often, the Congress of the United States reaches a deadlocked state. When this happens, absolutely nothing gets done. They become so politically motivated and intractable that they would rather see the nation and its people suffer than to let credit for progress be given to the opposing political party. I have worked with bands who have separated into cliques and can't even get through a rehearsal without their biases showing. Marriages come apart for this reason. Lifelong friendships fade and wither. Businesses flounder and nations grow weak and impotent. All this happens just because one faction refuses to acknowledge that the other faction could actually have some good ideas, and vice versa. When you distill this toxic brew, what you salvage is greed, arrogance, revenge, and conceit. All these are attributes of immaturity, blind ideology, and the unwillingness to sacrifice an iota of pride, even for a common good. Pride, arrogance, and the conviction that your side is always right can lead down some long, dark tunnels with no light and no progress at the end for either side. From time to time, we all need a good dose of humility and patience. We all need to be thrown off our high horse and land hard enough to learn the respect for other people, their ideas, and their feelings. Let's all make the day count.